Hi Cancer, here is your extended higher octave reading using the Voyager deck, extended from the first reading that I did. The previous reading is still underneath this deck, so we can still refer to those cards if we need to. But what I wanted to share with you about this reading, about these cards, is that there is a sense here that perhaps the lesson that you're involved in right now with regards to what we discussed in the previous reading, in effect there was a delay in communication, delay in information. Perhaps there's some power plays going on with people controlling and holding information back from you. And what it seems like here is that the lesson that you're being offered the opportunity to master through that situation, or through your current situation, is one where you can learn how to maintain your inner sense of balance and strength and keep an equanimous mind. You have balance and equanimity at the base of the reading, regardless of what other people are doing. Because it shows here that you've got the Five of Wands here, which in this deck is called oppression, and that is backing up the Two of Crystals there, which is equanimity. And that says to me, and again here you've got Man of Crystals and Eight of Worlds. This is the foundation of your reading. In the center card you have synergy crossed by the Hanged Man. That's the Six of Worlds with the Hanged Man crossing. And the crowning card is the Six of Wands, which is called Trust in this deck. So my first instinct when I saw these cards was to tell you that sometimes when information is not being revealed to us, we are needing to access the part of ourselves that can just trust that everything's aligned and things are unfolding in a divine way, that we can just kind of recline a little bit and sit back when the energy feels like it's not moving forward and it's not as clear and as aligned and as activated as you'd like it to be. Sometimes what it's about is you just finding a way to kind of lean back a little bit and let the universe kind of unfold her magic in the way that is the most perfectly aligned. Sometimes it's just our mind that gets overly busy and makes us feel trapped and oppressed by things not feeling like they are as we want them to be, but actually it's all just a play of the mind, and it's our own making that makes us feel uncomfortable. So here I would say it's just a reminder for you to trust more in the universe, in divine unfolding. Find a way to balance your inner self so that regardless of what's going on outside of you, you still feel calm within, and that you have a gentle mind that isn't grasping for things, that isn't wishing things to be anything other than they are, that isn't feeling disempowered by the actions of other people, that isn't kind of having an inner turmoil because things aren't looking the way that you want them to look, or things aren't timed the way that you think they should be. And just know that there is a divine timing in everything, and that the universe has got your back. Your work is to find a way, as I said, to recline a little bit, to be in a more receptive space, rather than to drive forward with your own, impulses to make things be a certain way. And just find a calm, joyful presence in all things as they unfold in divine timing, without needing to kind of make anything be different than what it is. You have also here, you have 3 sixes in the spread here. You have the Six of Cups. Where is that other one I just saw? Yeah, in the center of the spread you have the Six of Pentacles, which is the Six of Worlds, and the crowning card is the Six of Wands. And all these sixes here, it says to me that this is about your own inner harmony, you coming into balance in your own self, and just kind of quietly matching your inner drive and your willpower with divine will, so that you have a smooth and fluid unfolding of things without any kind of emotional disturbance that you might be generating yourself based on your perception of how things should be. You also have 2 twos here, You have the Two of Crystals, which is the Two of Swords in the Rider-Waite deck, and in this deck it's called Equanimity. And this card is the Two of Cups, and in this deck it's called, let's see, Equilibrium. So it's the Two of Cups and the Two of Swords, Two of Crystals. And again, both of these kind of just make me feel like it's a reminder to you to just find the balance within yourself and kind of calm and quiet the mind and calm and quiet your emotional body so that you can just be present with what's happening and not feel the need to force it into something else. Force it into something that suits your perceived idea of what is correct timing, of what sort of should be happening when, and just be more trusting that divine timing is having your back and everything is unfolding as it should. And I know that can be a little bit challenging if you have, you know, maybe a deadline imposed by your boss or your workplace, or you have your own sort of needs to be met because there's something that you want to achieve by a certain time. The central card in the crossing position is the Hanged Man, and this is a really beautiful, very deeply, I guess spiritual card. To me, the Hanged Man represents kind of the essence of Christ consciousness, which is this sort of, you know, it's a feeling of sacrifice, but it's also an acceptance. I think that's, you know, that's kind of basically what I've been talking about until now, is this feeling of just like accepting that people are doing the best that they can, accepting that the situation is unfolding in the right way at the right time, and accepting that everyone is aligned, and even if it doesn't look like you want it to look, that the universe has a higher knowing and a more intelligent unfolding that you can just relax into and ease into and find a way to be more receptive, rather than pushing out too much masculine energy of trying to force things to be the way that you want them to be. Yeah, in this position, as I said, you have the Six of Cups in the in the reverse position, which in this deck is called Sorrow, and it's backed by the Sage of Worlds in this deck. It's the King of Pentacles. So this to me is talking about how in the physical manifest world you can kind of just recline. Like I said, I've been saying that word a few times, it just keeps coming through. Just relax into the abundance that's all around you, and overcome any feelings of needing to make things be different than what they are, and just like feel how much prosperity and how much wealth and abundance you're actually existing in. Like you have all the resources that you need. You may have come through difficulty. You may have, maybe this card is talking about coming from a recent disappointment, but matched by this energy, I think the universe is just reminding you to actually take stock of what you do have around you, of what's actually really in your world. And don't put too much attention on what you don't have, because that will make you feel like you don't have enough. It will make you feel poor of spirit. It will make you feel like there's a scarcity of things, which makes you feel like there's not enough. But the truth is that you actually have everything you need, and much more. Let's see what else is here. You have the Sage of Crystals, so that's a nice pairing with the Sage of Worlds. The sages, as I said, refer to the kings in the Rider-Waite deck, but in this deck, in the court cards, you have the children, the women, men, and sages. So rather than have like child and page and knight energy, you have the child cards, which represent that kind of youthful energy, and you have masculine and feminine energies, and then the Sage card kind of represents the wisdom of like the elders, and that's kind of the mastery over each of the elements. So again, here you have, this card is called Knower, it's the Sage of Crystals, and this is the Sage of Worlds, and this is called Master. So again, it's just kind of like settling into like the mastery that's already within you, that helps you feel like everything is as it should be. And just working with the mind to overcome that runaway puppy that kind of wants to make trouble all the time, and just kind of like relaxing into all things being as they are. Even if it may not be ideally where you want to go, that's fine. You have something to work towards, but not creating unnecessary stress for yourself and people around you by feeling a sense of lack or feeling a sense of stress or anxiety because you want things to be different. But just like calmly and quietly feeling balanced within yourself and knowing that, yeah, you can work towards change. You know, you can find ways to improve on things, certainly. You have the Ten of Cups here in the outcome position as well. This card's called Passion in this deck. It's not about being lazy and just settling for everything that's there. It's about accepting things are where they are and using the power of your mind and the power of your emotions to manifest the things that you want to change, or to manifest new things. Using passion, using foresight, using your intuition. Using, also there's a few child cards here. You have the Child of Worlds and the Child of Cups. So again, it's like using that energy of like youthful, excited, passionate, inventive energy to invoke new things into your life, but without it not coming from a place of what's missing, but more of a place of what can I add? How can I improve? So it's two sides of a different coin, but it's extremely different energy to approach with. You do also have here in this corner the Man of Crystals. In this deck it's called the Inventor. So again, it's using the power of mind to, you know, send imprints of thoughts and ripples out into the universe to create new things that you want to invoke into your physical world. At the foundation of the reading, the whole reading here is kind of sitting on top of this balance card here, which is number 8 in the Major Arcana. And again, I kind of already talked about this earlier on, where it's really just a reminder for you, to keep yourself in check internally. Regardless of what's going on outside of you, you have the ability to manage and control your energy by just maximizing the power of the mind and your emotions, and not letting your emotional body run away from you and let you get outside of yourself. Keep that in check. Keep a meditation practice or a yoga practice, a way to keep your mind and body quiet and still and in a place of accepting and integrating all of the things that are happening on a day-to-day basis. The bottom of the deck you have the 6 of Crystals. There's another 6. In this deck it's called Confusion, and underneath that you have the 9 of Crystals, which is called Narrowness. Now I would read these cards by saying that just again, it's more about what I just talked about with harnessing the power of your mind and using focused attention to overcome emotional disturbances and overcome, you know, the mind's desire to kind of keep reliving the past and going over conversations that you had or didn't have, or things you wanted to say but you didn't say, and putting aside all of that, because those things are actually not empowering. They will cause you more distress and more depression and more anxiety. But using the power of the mind to channel and focus energy like a laser beam into the things that you would like to manifest and create. And also, yeah, again, with having the cards about confusion, equanimity, and these kinds of things, putting the mind to work in the best possible way by overcoming the mind's desire to kind of run around and worry and think about things that it cannot control and things that it cannot fix, but actually using the mind to focus on new things, new ideas, higher vibrational things, thought forms of manifestation that are more pure and clean and highly evolved, refined. Yeah. And all that, I would say, with all of that, make sure that you maintain a sense of childlike wonder for life and have fun. Don't take it all so seriously. We're here to enjoy. So with that, I'll leave it there. That's your reading, Cancer, for the period from August 26 to September 9. That's the full moon in Pisces to the new moon in Virgo. And I hope you found that helpful. I'll put the link for the previous reading with the first deck in the description boxes below as well, so that you can have both readings together. And I would suggest that you watch both of them again now and also in another week's time, because you'll find at different times after certain events have transpired, you'll collect different pieces of information that will be relevant and helpful to you. So thank you for watching and thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next reading.